Displacement anger plus laundry equals crazy girlfriend? Hi little nerds, it's Mother Glover, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to be a crazy girlfriend. And some of you may be asking, why would you even want to be a crazy girlfriend? And I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people out there who say, well, people aspire to be it every day, so let's give you a little how-to. Basically, this is really about displacement anger. Now, displacement anger is basically when you are angry about one thing, but you take it out on someone or something else. So let's say your mom has had a really hard day at work and her boss has screamed at her, or she's stressed about something, and she comes home and directly yells at you for whatever it is you do. Now, in relationships, unfortunately, people do this all the time. This story takes place about 2003, 2004, I can't really remember. But basically, my then boyfriend, now husband, and I were living together in an apartment. Now, this is our second apartment, and we're still sort of getting our, I don't know, just trying to figure out how it's all going to work. And this one particular time, he has gone out with some friends, and that's not a big deal. I'm totally fine with that. Just this time in particular, I've decided to be angry about something. Now, I want you to pay close attention to how I'm saying that. I decided to be angry about this. Now, he has done this before, so he would go out to his friend who lives in, we lived in a downtown apartment, and his friend was out in the suburbs, and so basically he would have to he'd take the bus out there because there would be drinking involved, and he wasn't going to drive back. And we knew that he would probably stay late because buses stopped really early. So I knew this going into it. So the next morning, I wake up and I decide that I'm mad because he didn't call me to tell me he was going to stay over, even though it was kind of the assumption. It was sort of the unspoken thing, well, I'm going to stay over. But he didn't actually say it, and I decided I was going to be mad about that. But in my head, I also knew that I couldn't actually be angry about that because we didn't actually say that. Okay, so I decide I'm going to be angry at the laundry because the laundry situation in our house was a bit out of control. And 13 years later, it still is, but that's not the point. The point is that I decided that I was going to go into our room and take all of his stuff, and there was big piles. Okay, he liked big piles. Keep in mind that I also have piles, but I totally ignored my piles because this wasn't about me. This was about him, right? Crazy. So I took all of his clothes and I put them all on the bed. Okay, so I piled them behind me on the bed. I also went into the hall closet and took out garbage bags full of clothes that we had moved into the new apartment that he hadn't unpacked yet. And I basically ripped open all those bags and piled it up. This pile was literally like 4 feet in the air, like just a super high amount of clothes. And I'm all worked myself up into like a big crazy fit. And basically he comes home, and by this time he only come home, it's like 10:30 in the morning. So you know that he literally woke up early. He's still kind of like sleepy and hungover, and he booted it right back. He didn't lollygag. He came straight home because he is a good man. Okay, but I do not see any of this. And as soon as he comes in the door, I start on him and I say, your laundry is out of control. You come here. And I drag him into the bedroom and I show him this big pile of laundry, and I say, you need to sort through all this stuff. You need to see what you want to keep and what you want to give away and what doesn't fit you and blah, blah. And you try this all on right now and you get to work, okay? And then I close the bedroom door, slam the bedroom door because I'm crazy. And I go into the other room and I sit in the living room all indignant, and I'm totally like in the right, okay, because he was a big mess, okay? And I'm sitting there fuming like a psychotic person for half an hour. And then I decide I'm going to go check on his progress because as a full-grown man, he can't take care of himself, apparently. Anyway, so I go into the bedroom, I open the door, and the huge pile of laundry is still there, but he is sleeping on it, Snoopy style, like on his back, like sleeping on this giant pile of laundry, okay? And he looks at me, and he's like he's caught, and I look at him, and it's at that moment this is important. At that moment, I decided that I was going to stop being a crazy girlfriend, because a crazy girlfriend could basically have taken it to the next level, started screaming, why didn't you listen to me, blah, 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 and could have made it go on for hours, days, weeks, okay? But I decided that that was crazy, and I wasn't going to be like that. I didn't want my relationship to be like that. So I recognized the situation for what it was. Hilarious, okay? He's sleeping on top of this entire thing. So I start laughing. I'm like, okay. And then I basically just said, okay, I'm mad because I wanted you to call and tell me that you weren't going to, that you were going to stay the night away. And he said, but I've done this before. Like, I just assumed that you would know. And I'm like, yeah, but I wanted to call this time. And he said, okay, next time I'll call. I'm like, okay. So then the two of us together pushed all the clothes off the bed, and then we went into the other room and made some eggs. And then as we're eating breakfast, he says, hey, remember that time when you were a crazy girlfriend? And I said, it's too soon. It's too soon. Okay, but the whole point is that in a relationship, you do not have to be in the right or scolding someone else. And I think that a lot of girls in particular tend to have this arsenal, and I call it your backpack arsenal. So you're a normal human being who's walking around, but secretly there's this huge backpack on your back where every single event that has ever gone wrong, or that you thought has gone wrong, has been stored in there. And that's why in subsequent fights, they'll be like, you always do this. You'll be like, give me a time when I did that. Okay, which is a terrible thing to say to a crazy girl. And basically she's like, and rips into her backpack and pulls out this arsenal and be like, this time, this time, this time. And then gives like a list of details of all the things that have done wrong. And the thing is, you cannot live your relationship like that, because that makes you a crazy girlfriend. And you do not want to be a crazy girlfriend because chances are you will be a crazy single girl by yourself. And this goes for guys too, okay? It goes both ways, but really, the whole idea is you can either stand up and die for this cause, like you definitely, basically, is this the hill you want to die on? And you got to really ask yourself that. And literally, it was a hill of laundry, okay? And I said, we're not going to break up over this giant pile of laundry. So what do I have to do? I have to let it go and realize that he's going to be kind of a slob with laundry. As am I, by the way, which I totally ignored, but we're both kind of slobs, and we just have our stuff everywhere, and that's just going to be a part of our life. Now, is that going to be the thing that breaks us up? No, because he's awesome, okay? So I'm not going to break up with him for that. So I literally have to let that go, and I can't store it and continue to be mad about it for the next 30, 40, 50 years. I can't, because it's not worth it, okay? So the real thing here is, how to be a crazy girlfriend is to recognize that maybe you're not actually angry at the thing you're angry about. And if you actually are, you have to get over it if it's not something that's big enough for you to actually break up over. Okay? Until next time, if you have any questions or tips that you would like me to talk about in my next video, please comment below and like, comment, subscribe in general. Okay? Until then, take care and don't be crazy. Okay?